You're watching Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey, once again asking you to subscribe to us here. The goal is 20 new subscribers on today's video alone. So if you are a new subscriber, head down to the comment section and type in me so producer Patrick can show you guys some love, and you get free videos every single day, or at least almost every single day, when you subscribe right here on Minnesota Vikings Now. Coming up on today's show, we've got some Ed Donatell conversation. The Vikings are on fire, but their defense is certainly not. That's been a big issue for them this year. We'll break down some key injury news and notes in the injury report for Minnesota, plus the Patrick Peterson, Kyler Murray drama that was started by Patrick Peterson, and we'll see if it continues moving forward. But we begin with the stuff on this team. That's Ed Donatell. The Vikings defense, injuries a factor here, has not been good enough. The 31st in yards per game, 21st in points per game, so they're doing a better job of closing off some drives, keeping things short, bend but don't break, and takeaways a big factor there. Dead last in passing yards, that's not where you want to be in the modern-day NFL. 14th in rushing yards, 21st in third down percentage. That is impacted by that disastrous game against the Cowboys. But the Vikings have allowed way too many chunk plays. In the modern-day NFL, teams covet explosive plays. Opposing defense would rather you have a 11-play drive because you're more likely to make a mistake somewhere along that way than allow a couple big 20-plus yard plays, and now all of a sudden you're in field goal range and you're churning along nicely. The chunk plays are a problem, and the Vikings are third in most 20-plus yard completions. That's an explosive play in the passing game. That's got to get dialed back. Minnesota, despite allowing all those chunk plays, aren't blitzing. So you're dropping a lot of guys into coverage. You're rushing with 4, basically, and opposing teams are still getting those big-time chunk plays against you. They're 27th, and that's a big drop-off from what Ed Donatell has done in the past with the blitz rate. And we'll bring on producer Patrick Seatman here, our Vikings fan. I don't like what this is for Minnesota, despite some good pass rushers.
And it's funny, I was kind of scrolling through Vikings Twitter, and I saw some guys talk about Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer, even though bad finish in Minnesota, he was great at manufacturing pressure with the blitz. It's kind of a cop-out take I have right now, but I think go back to what Zimmer did great, that little double A-gap blitz, just get a little more creative, blitz the slot corner or something, because I think something needs to change, Tom.
At least even just do some simulated pressures where you show a 6-man pressure and you only bring 4 of them, you're dropping other players off there, can help confuse the offense. That's what a lot of smart coordinators like Dan Quinn have been doing so far this year.
We could use him.
You've got some pressure players, got to get more consistency there. I don't think you fire Ed Donatell right now, but if things don't improve, maybe he's on the hot seat after this year. So what do you think? Are you confident in Ed Donatell right now, or do you just want to move on and fire him? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes, N for no. Let's hit the Vikings injury report now, then we'll go more in depth. That's tell you guys about our sponsor today, Fetch. Christian Darrisaw, battling a concussion right now, did not participate. That's a big red flag. He's so good up front, but he had a couple concussions in 2 straight weeks. Got to be patient there. Harrison Smith was limited with the ankle. Typically, if you're limited on Wednesday, you'll be able to play. Akayleb Evans, concussion, full participant. Good news there. He should be just fine. Dalvin Tomlinson seems to be closer to making his return a full participant. Good news there. Tomlinson's numbers, sacks, forced fumbles don't jump off the screen, but he's been a disruptor as a pressure player and has been a very good run stopper. The Vikings defensive front has been pretty solid overall this year against the run. You know, the pressure stuff, the sacks, coverage, we all kind of talked about that stuff there. But getting back Dalvin Tomlinson is a big deal. Help with the defense, the pass rush across the board. I think he's one of the more underrated front 4 players, or I guess front 3 for the Vikings package, in the entire NFL. I'm quite excited to see how he looks getting back fully for this Vikings team. Today's edition of Minnesota Vikings Now is brought to you by Fetch. It's super easy to use, and it's a free rewards app that allows you to earn those rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan a physical receipt or e-receipt, and you will earn points for your purchases. The process, as you'll see right now, takes mere seconds. don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it, by the way. Any receipt will work. Let me show you how simple this is, right? Shout out to the video here. All you do is open the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, snap a photo of your receipt, hit submit, and boom, the Fetty will pop, showing you've earned some more reward points. It's a very simple process. It also has an e-receipt function, so whether you're doing Amazon, online shopping, whatever, you can get points for that as well. As you rack up those points, you can redeem them for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or hundreds of retailers and restaurants that are available via the app. It's available on the iPhone and Android app stores. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T, to sign up for free 5,000 points. Once you scan your first receipt, that's the equivalent of a free $5 gift card just for downloading the app and scanning a receipt. Free app, 5,000 bonus points, but the bonus points are only available for limited time, so make sure you do it today. Chatsports.com/fetch. Promo code CHAT, C-H-A-T. Link and promo code are in the comments section and the description of today's video. Let's talk more on the injured players here. Next up is Akayleb Evans. Okay numbers. I thought better in his brief appearance and kind of missed some time. 13 targets, 11 receptions. Not a great ratio. Again, I don't think your secondary front four pass rush have quite been aligned from that standpoint. I know it's a soft zone, but still want to be a bit more productive there. In theory, getting Akayleb Evans back, especially with Andrew Booth out for the year now, and Cam Dantzler back at some point will help the defensive secondary. I certainly hope, but I do think Dalvin Tomlinson is the bigger impact here. Who do you think it is getting these guys back? Who will matter more for this Vikings team? 21 for Akayleb Evans or 94 for Dalvin Tomlinson? Quick note now on the Jets injury report. I will make note that in general, full on Wednesday, you're playing, did not participate. We'll see if you don't make that Wednesday practice. Limited means you should be fine. So Sheldon Rankins getting closer to his return. Duane Brown, the Jets need the offensive line help. DJ Reed didn't participate due to not injury related. So we'll see how that one ends up going. Cedric Ogbueh, he did not participate. That's a backup lineman. Ashtyn Davis and starting running back Michael Carter for the team that's going to start Mike White at quarterback in New York. Before we go, some Patrick Peterson, Kyler Murray drama, as Patrick Peterson on his podcast did not shy away, saying that Kyler Murray doesn't care about anybody but Kyler Murray, which Murray then responded to on Twitter saying, "This isn't true. You want some weird shit at P2. You got my number. If you really felt like this as a big bro or mentor, you're supposed to call me and tell me, not drag me so your podcast can grow." Let's bring on producer Patrick here. What do you think?
You know, it's funny. When I originally got this report of this little drama and beef between these two, I initially just wanted to take Pat Pete's side. I think Kyler's kind of got a point here. I mean, obviously Tom, you mentioned before we got on here, him and Peterson did not have the best relationship and still don't obviously have the best relationship. But it was a little weird that Pat Pete, on his own podcast, he talks about being a big bro, a mentor toward Kyler. He does have his number. I would have liked us to see this behind the scenes.
I think it just is a bit of a distraction for the team. There is a lot of bad blood between the Cardinals and Patrick Peterson for the way that everything ended there. Mm-hmm. And you can go back and watch the highlight, even just the highlight you can find on Twitter of the Harrison Smith interception. Yeah. The ball is going to Smith, and Peterson's already celebrating. Which, he doesn't normally do. He's enjoying it a lot more there. There is some bad blood between Kyler and Patrick Peterson, and I don't think Pat Pete's that wrong.
It's not like he's wrong.
This goes back to, Kyler's high school days. Uh-huh. Peterson's doing the video game celebration.
Yes.
But, I don't know if you want to air the dirty laundry mid-season.
Especially when you're 9-2. Just keep all that noise out of the locker.
Which I get he's doing his podcast it's valuable, but, it's just not, maybe not always quite the route you want to go there. Yeah. All right, before we go, who do you have in this very challenging game for Vikings and the Jets? Get those predictions in for me in the comments section. You can type in MIN for the Minnesota Vikings. They are favored after all, even though the Jets they're better with Mike White because he just doesn't make the ugly mistake that Zach Wilson does. Or if you're thinking upset, you can pick the Jets, NYJ. Sound off for me in the comments section. Remember to be subscribed because we have you guys covered here year-round on everything going on around the Minnesota Vikings.